welcome back everybody. We are back for a reaction video. We're going to be reacting to a Star Citizen video that has come out recently. Actually, it's come out in the past 18 hours. I haven't watched it yet. It's an hour long. So, there's going to be a bit of pausing and talking about whatever they're talking about. I don't know what they're, I mean, I know they're talking about the airholes. But yeah, it'd be interesting to watch, and I'll give my any opinions or my thoughts on what they're doing. I'm not saying I'm correct or anything, but I'm just basically gonna react live to. Alright, yeah. So let's get cracking. With the vehicle concept
Hello.
team.
Welcome.
Hello.
It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. I'm wearing my Mr. Rogers sweater. I guess it's. I discovered the other day that my recent spat of buying fruit-colored hoodies matched Mr. Rogers' closet of fruit-colored sweaters, and I did not do that intentionally, but I'm like, all right, you know. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen Live. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee. Star Citizen Live is the show that we do irregularly now with the new show cadence, where we take CIG developers and we invite them in and we make them talk about stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the show. It's been a few weeks since I've done one of these, and I probably should have prepared more. Joining us on the show this week are esteemed members of our CIG, well, esteemed members and Sam, of our of our CIG vehicle concept team. We've got Alberto, Laith, Jacob, and Sam. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yes.
All right.
So welcome to the show. For some of you, this is your first time here in the spaceship. What do you think?
It's pretty good.
Right. Lovely.
It's pretty cool.
Some of the people landing here on the station are not doing a very good job. But
No, they're really bad. That green connie sucks.
There was someone flying around without a spacesuit, so...
There's actually a lot of little errors.
That was a dead person.
There's a lot of little imperfections baked in. This video made by our own Dave Bridle.
Cheers,
Do
Dave.
better next time.
That's perfect.
It's harsh. So
I wonder if they did it in a
you
live
are members of the CIG concept team. You just work on vehicles. Today we're talking about vehicles and stuff like this. Alberto and Sam, we've met you last year. We did a thing with the weapon content team, and we included you there because all those weapons start from a concept, and you work with that. But today we're talking specifically about vehicle concepts. So Alberto, Laith, Sam, Jacob, we usually spend a couple minutes and go around and tell everybody who you are and what you do. But I already told everybody what you do, and I've already said all your names. So, and we have a shorter show. We have a shorter show than normal. We probably won't be going the full hour this week. So I just want to start off with a global question for everybody.
The video says otherwise.
What does a concept artist do? How do you explain this?
That's a really good question.
How do you
I'd love
explain
to
this?
answer
You're at dinner with your mom's friend, and she's like, "Oh, what do you do?" How do you explain it? What does a concept artist do?
We draw spaceships for video games.
Well, that's a concept artist for video games for spaceships, but a concept artist is broader than that.
I'd say...
Talk to me about the position itself. What does a concept artist do?
I'd say translate the words to visuals.
All right, that's a good answer.
Visual, yeah.
Okay, Sam gets 2 points. What else you got?
I would say in addition to that, problem solving for sure. Because usually those visuals
Is this like an
aren't
interview or
correct right
something?
away. Like there's a lot of
It's
problems
almost
to solve.
like he's
especially
interviewing
with
them
Star
for their
Citizen,
own job.
where, you know, components, metrics, stuff like that.
All right,
What
so
the
like
hell?
unlike in other projects with Star Citizen, you have to work to very specific rules. A door has to be as big as a door needs to be.
Yeah.
Whoever concepted the Millennium Falcon way back when didn't have to worry about the inside fitting inside the outside. You certainly do. It's like this, all right? You get 2 points. What else? What is a concept artist?
I would say that is that figure between the ideation of a product and the final result of it, the one that explored all the different ways something might go and decide we'll do this because and can tell you why it did those choices.
Okay, you want another shot at it, Laith?
I think we're the most important people in the pipeline.
Yeah.
I agree.
And why is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. You're the ones bringing in the money,
We
right?
make the things that go in. So without us, all the things that go look pretty naff. So
Yeah.
Are you saying that you've never made anything that was naff?
no, most things I make are. Yeah.
What is NAF?
It's like bad.
Never heard that term
Yeah,
before. Is it like
yeah.
a British slang term?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
It's good.
You learn something
Not as good
every
as
day.
sloshed,
There you
but
go.
We have an international coalition of concept artists here today.
They outnumber me.
So, all right. So concept artists. I really like Sam's. Between the four, Sam's answer was the best. So I'm gonna give it 2 more extra points.
Thank you.
It's taking the words, taking the ideas of somebody else, of a designer, for instance, and giving them form, giving them shape, giving them color, giving them personality. It's finding out if this idea is actually viable, can actually exist. It's literally taking thought and bringing it into reality. And that's why I'm your PR person.
Okay.
All right. So,
Was someone before the concept artist?
what's your training like? Like, how do you become a concept artist? Is this just you did grade school art and realized you were good and just continued on into adulthood? Is there specific training? What are your stories?
I just walked into the office and they haven't got rid of me.
That's not remotely true. Like,
I need to do that.
I already know that's not
just
true.
walk into their office.
You do work, so.
Just get a job at CIG.
So how do you become a concept artist?
I was self-taught.
Same.
I always liked to draw, and then I want to draw properly. Got into the loop, learned what concept art was, and just liked it. And started studying it by myself.
Okay, so no formal
There you
official
go.
training, just nose to the grindstone, work.
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
Okay,
Alberto has a PhD in concept art.
Yes.
you have a PhD in something.
A PhD? No, not
No.
really. Graduated in product design. I started working in the product design and transportation design industry in a pretty
It
famous
definitely seems like the more senior guy
car
here.
design company manufacturer in Italy. I understood that it wasn't for me, really. Nothing particular, it was just too real. And I really liked the virtual world a little more. So I did a master in concept art, still in Italy. Did some indie work in Germany, moved here in production, became concept artist, became senior and lead.
They actually had a
Yeah, there you go.
university
Senior- he's a
program
lead as well.
that you
Holy
can
shit.
master in for concept art?
No, it was a private academy.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was a very small course. The best thing it did was really introducing me to the people in the industry and motivating each other. The industry in Italy is not very big. So moving out was almost mandatory.
Yeah, I get you. How about you, Jacob? Stop looking at the screen. You're still looking for the imperfections in Dave's work.
Yeah,
Focus on the show, Jacob.
sure. I'm self-taught as well. Mostly because concept art, I would say, is a bit more of a niche job, at least for now. So where I'm from, Germany, there is not really any, at least not any good schools that have concept design courses. There are some around the world. There's some very good ones. Usually they're quite expensive though.
Everybody just
Are you
smiles.
just slagging off every concept artist that went through school in Germany right now?
No, I'm not saying they are bad, but I'm saying the schools are not as good
Are
as
they
the ones in other countries.
Are
I
they
think.
bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
well, self-taught, was working freelance for a while. And
Well, there you go.
At some point.
It seems to be
Joint
the way
started
to go.
and it's been very
Is
nice so far.
self-teach
And the
yourself,
actual
right?
story, Leith.
I have a degree in games art and design, which I call a gaming license. And I got that like 6 years ago now. And I worked at Frontier for a bit. So I actually worked on Elite Dangerous for a bit. Sorry, I apologize.
Not normally.
I'm just,
How
I don't
dare
know what
you.
people think.
It's not your fault.
It's not my
Always
fault.
to
It's
get
not
to
my
the
fault.
right side.
The accident.
All
Potential
space,
revenue.
all space games are beautiful.
They're all the same. I'll definitely say that.
I wasn't going to say that. All right, the views and opinions of Leith do not represent those of Cloud and Premium Games, Frontier, or anybody else.
They don't represent me very well, to be honest with you.
7 minutes.
I'm learning that.
Oh yeah,
That's
sorry.
it.
I'm learning that.
Yeah, I was at Frontier, but the work they were giving me was not very exciting. So, because I was on F1 Manager as well, and if you're thinking, what on earth do you design in a Formula One management video game? It's a great question. I also didn't know what the hell I was doing, so, and then I messaged this guy, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll
All
let
right.
you in."
So we started to touch on this topic now, your journey towards to CIG here.
Yeah.
So, but self-taught or not, CIG probably was CIG your first job in the industry? No. So talk to me about your journeys. Where did we know Alberto? You worked for an Italian
Well,
car
finding
company.
out lots
Were
about
there
where
other
they come
video
from,
game
right?
stops
Holy
along the way?
shit.
The guys in Egosoft.
Okay.
So I worked on a DLC for X4, 2 DLCs for X4 Foundation, Split Vendetta,
Alright.
and the Terran one. I forgot the name of it. Sorry.
Okay.
And it was an indie experience.
Terran Conflict,
a very
right?
ambitious game for a lot of things. Compatible with Star Citizen because it's a space game, space exploration, there is first person, there is interior of ships. So a lot of overlapping, a huge difference in budget.
Yep.
So there were different problems. At the time I was both concept artist and production artist. We had a lot of limits in terms of how many materials we could use, how many polygons we could use, limits that we don't have here because we use different tools. But yeah, at the time they were 17, now they grew up a lot, and I'm still in contact with them, and they are really lovely.
How about you, Sam?
I worked before in freelance too. I had a couple of freelance gigs when I was still learning and got the skill to work on this. And then a couple months later, I messaged Alberto, and he had the kindness to give me feedback on personal project that I was doing. And yeah, we started talking more, and one day he asked me if he would like to work. I would like to work with.
Oh, it's your fault.
Yeah,
So you weren't just saddled with him, you actually invited.
actually he asked first.
Yeah. I asked because I
Oh,
didn't know
wow.
the difference
There
between
you
a vehicle
go.
artist and a vehicle concept artist. And I asked him, listen, if I apply for vehicle artist, I'll do concept. And he said, no, because that's not a concept artist. And yes.
Sam's a special one. We love Sam.
He's still not showing the difference.
All right.
So the vehicle
Jacob.
artist has it
So,
to the concept artist?
About 4.5 years ago, when I was 20, my first job after graduating from high school doing my final exams was on a Hollywood production for Sony Pictures Entertainment, which was pretty terrifying, but also pretty exciting. And I did a spaceship for a movie called 65, starring
Oh, yeah?
Adam Driver, which I don't think it's a good movie at all. but
65?
It was fun to work on.
I
Yeah.
didn't know you work on this.
Let's see if you can see. Movie 65. That's it? On this? Holy crap. I could research spaceships, see what spaceship he did. Fuck. Double no, right? Oh, maybe it might be one of these, right? Like this one. Interesting. I mean, if he's in it, I kind of want to work with him and see it. I think he said the movie is crap, right? Did he get any decent ratings? I guess. My enemy.
Yeah, I did the spaceship
get
that
back-
like
back on
crashes
track.
at the start.
I didn't saw the movie though.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen it. Torsten Lyman came over, and Rich Towler and Yogi and Torsten and I went out and saw. No, not Torsten. It was Yogi who came over, and Rich Towler and Yogi and Dave Coulson and I went and saw it.
Oh, sure.
It's not good.
No, it really. Anyways, yeah. After that, I did a bunch of freelance jobs for a variety of projects. Some stuff for Riot Games outsourcing, as well as about a year of work for 1047 Games, working on Splitgate 2.
Your Splitgate stuff was so it was so
Splitgate.
cool.
Yeah, I didn't know you worked on Splitgate.
Yeah, the sequel, which is like in beta right now, I believe. Yeah, it was pretty fun time. Worked with some very cool people. Unlike what
When
I'm doing
did
now.
you join then?
No, but yeah, at some point, Alberto told me that he
Trying to
was
keep a
interested
straight face.
in getting me on the team.
He wouldn't shut up
And-
about it.
Oh, you're responsible for him too, then.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for everyone.
I
Yeah,
for
exactly.
this, I
It's a team lead,
apologize.
the
right?
way you talk
I
about them
apologize
behind
a
their
lot.
backs, I assume that you were saddled with them. I assume like talent acquisition just went and
No,
got
no,
them, and you were forced to work with them.
I am responsible for everything.
All right. So you
He loves
talk
us.
afterwards. Excalibur
In a way.
88 UK in the chat says 65 million is awesome. So
Nice.
I asked that question about the journey here because conceivably, a concept artist can work in lots of different fields. You can work in automotive. You can work in motion pictures. Why video games? These interview shows are the ones where
Well,
I get to ask
This is
the.
such an easy question to answer. Like, why video games? Because you have so much flexibility, especially with space ones. You kind of have. I understand that they don't have flexibility in some sense where they want realism in this game, but you have so much flexibility of being more creative, right? Like if you're doing a car or whatever, you design on a car. Every car manufacturer nowadays is shit, apart from Tesla and people like Tesla, you know, because they actually try to innovate and deliver the product where you get shitty little BMW and all this crap going, oh, look at our concept car. And then you go, wow, it has all these amazing features, no steering wheel and all this stuff. And then, like 6 months later, they'll release a car, and guess what? It looks exactly like the past fucking 10 years of cars that they released. The absolute go shit. At least with this, they get to work on ships that, allow them to use creativity, and then eventually they will get to see the end product. And for Star Citizen, with its amount of interactability and all realism and all that, you get to actually walk around in the ships, right? So there's so much.
Personal questions, and it's
Let's see
less
what they have
about the
to say,
work and
though.
stuff like that. Although we will get to some work in a little bit. I got something for you. But on these more personal shows, I'm always fascinated by this question of why you got into the video game industry. Because let's be just completely honest, anybody that's looking at the video game press for the last year and a half knows it's not the most stable industry and whatnot. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. So you had to make a choice at some point for video games. Why? I'm always curious about this answer. Why not stay in Hollywood? Why not stay making fancy Italian sports cars? Why video games?
I would say is who you do it for, and that was my main concern with the luxury market. So I was working for a lot of yachts, planes, politicians, billionaire of around the world.
Trash people.
You say that, I didn't say it. But
Views and opinions of Jared Huckabee do not represent those of Platinum Pyramid Game. Continue.
the public you do a video game for is generally a very different public
Keeping it
for
real.
what you would do the most expensive bracelet in the world for, or an 80 million yacht for. I did a yacht that was consuming as much as the city we designed it in. So that's why.
Yeah.
And I want in video games, not really for video games themselves, but for Star Citizen. That's the reason I choose to go in Egosoft first, because it just made sense if I wanted to end up here, as I was a fan from a long time.
Oh, so you had the long plan.
Yeah.
You had the long plan. You actually
Very old.
plotted a path to Star Citizen.
And I plotted a portfolio for Star Citizen.
All right. All right. How about you guys?
I got into games sort of on my university course in like the first year. They have people doing like 2D animation, 3D games. So like you try stuff for like a whole bunch of different fields, and I dipped my feet in each of them. And I thought, they're okay, but video games one that spoke to me most, and also because I actually play games in my spare time. So obviously I care about them, so I'd like to make them good. So for me, it just makes sense to be doing concept art for games. And also I hear like some horror stories about how designs can go in like the film or like TV industry, where directors can have influence
Yeah.
they maybe shouldn't, and it leads to some very bad things happening, is what I've heard. So I thought, let's go with games, and games have been good to me. So
Jacob?
I would say it's, for me, the level of interactability that people have with what you make. I think it's really cool that in a video game, especially a video game like Star Citizen, a
Yeah.
player can really
You know,
look at every nook and cranny of the design. and
concept
walk around,
BMW.
open
You're
up
never
all
going to
the
see that in a
component
fucking road,
base.
are you?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot cooler than seeing the design you made for maybe like half a second in a movie just fly by in a specific shot from a
Exactly.
specific perspective.
Half a second in a
It's
YouTube
true.
video,
in
you see
Star
a
Citizen, you have to
BMW
design
concept,
from
right?
every
What he said, right? Is for like a 2-minute video or something like that, or some stupid chick walking around going, "Wow, look at all this fancy car that you're never ever gonna get to drive because they'll never ever make a car like this." That product will never make it. You'll see it for like a year or something while it's going around, you know? And then after that, the video, nobody will care about it because the cars are still all the same shit. Nobody will see it on the road. He's working on something there are hundreds of thousands to millions of people are going to see, right? And they can go all the way through it. So, like I say, I said over it.
Every conceivable point of view. It's one of the eternal challenges of working in a game is that, when you work on film and everything, you're building a lot of facades. You know where the camera is, so you only have to build facing the camera in most situations, unless you're somebody like a Nolan or something like this. But in video games, you have less control over where the camera is going to be, so you have to
be everywhere.
You have to build for that's right. It's an interesting challenge.
I think the end result is just more impressive, though. Usually.
Lord Darius 78 says, "So guys, get to the point already. It's boring. We want to hear something new."
Damn.
This is the
Boring
point.
people.
This is the point of this show.
Yeah.
Also, the show goes up on YouTube later, and you can click through and fast forward through these parts if this isn't your thing. I mean,
Yeah,
watching
so
is
piss
optional.
off. Stop commenting. Let's watch anime chat.
So anytime we have an artist on, we get to do these kind of shows where I get to talk about your history and you stuff. Influences are always a big thing. It's no secret that Star Citizen wears a lot of its influences on its sleeves. It's very clear that Chris, through his entire career, has been very influenced by a lot of World War II stuff, by a lot of Star Wars stuff.
There's a lightsaber right behind
Is
you.
it that old? Holy shit.
Well, this whole ship is full of my influences. I mean, it's a lot of people think, oh, they spend all this money on stuff. I'm like, no, this is my stuff. I buy stuff like I just bought this lovely. Trust me, CIG did not buy
Voice
the
up.
Bride Gremlin from Gremlins 2. That was mine.
Why?
Did you do the dress yourself?
No, it came with it.
Oh,
Are we gonna get grandmas?
So I want to ask you what
in
your
Star
influences
Citizen?
are. What are the things when you're making a ship?
Yep.
Obviously, you've got the brief and stuff, but I know artists. They're always trying to work their own little bits, their own little. There are these things
Look at that.
that you can't divorce. Oh, that's what was his name?
John.
Pete. Oh, hey, Pete.
RIP.
It's been so long.
Bye, Pete.
What are your influences that tend to work their way into your work?
I get inspired a lot by music.
And music.
Yeah.
I do put music into it.
Yeah. By music.
Sing a song.
Are there any songs
I'm not gonna
particularly
sing a
that you
song. I'm not a singer.
Get the
This,
stream
this,
copyright
this,
strike.
this is an in-joke, folks. We had a really unfortunately awkward interaction in the elevator earlier today. What kind of music, Samuel?
It all depends of the design that I'm doing.
Okay, so without telling us what ship you're working on right now, we'll get to that. What music is influencing your work right now?
I'm listening to the soundtrack of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse, the second one.
Yes.
And how does music influence your visual art?
That's something really personal because I really like I hear the sounds and the synths and everything, and I imagine how it will look, this ship, with this as a soundtrack, and it will sound cool and look cool. So it needs to match the coolness.
Life Coffee
Right.
Gaming in the chat says, that's a great album. Life Coffee
Yes,
Gaming
sir.
has ears.
Yes, it does.
What about you, Jacob?
So for me, it's a lot of real world influence. So a lot of I was always very obsessed with aviation, still am, car design. So yeah, a lot of product designy, sleek forms, stuff like that. In terms of media, I would say a lot of Japanese stuff. So classic anime like Ghost in the Shell, Pet Labor, Evangelion,
Yes,
that kind of
yes.
stuff.
Good job.
Yes.
Are you a weeb? I just learned this word. I don't know anything about anime or manga or whatever, but somebody taught me the word weeb 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember what it means. I just remembered.
You can call it.
It's a massive compliment. You should call as many people weebs as you can.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Jacob's a weeb.
Can I
Yeah.
invoke my Fifth Amendment right on this show?
He's not denying it.
No, I am
I also
denying
don't
it.
actually remember what it means.
No, I wouldn't. Well, whatever. I hope I'm not a weeb, but
Oh, you hope you're not? Oh,
yeah.
see.
Oh my.
But I would say I
Well, why would you hope not to be?
like the amount of media I like is disappropriate. Wait.
What?
This,
What?
This,
No, no,
sorry, it's hard. English is hard. Disproportionately, right?
I want the truth.
Right. I would say it's
Oh,
disproportionately
please.
from Japan. So yeah.
Disproportionately from Japan.
Is that a word? Disproportionately?
Yeah,
you nailed it.
Yeah, of course it is.
Like a native speaker.
Laith.
I get also inspired by some anime stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the same stuff that Jacob's mentioned, but also just space in general is pretty cool. I like to look at like real-world spacecraft where I can, because I think it's, even though obviously the stuff we do is very far removed from anything, you know, that NASA's doing right now, but it's still good to like understand a lot of the principles going on there. And I think a lot of the
I think Mist
like understanding why real-world rockets
pretty
and
much in that
ships
line, right?
and cars and whatever look
They
the way
have
they
a
do.
lot
I think
of
that's very
like
helpful.
realistic engines.
Like,
and
Coolest
shit.
real world spacecraft.
Saturn V's pretty good. It's kind of hard to beat the Saturn V.
I'm
Does
a-
the ISS count?
What?
Sure.
Hello,
Oh, ISS
fucking
then.
starship.
it's moving.
Yeah, it counts.
Well, I tell you, no.
It's got an engine on
What
it.
the hell?
I mean, how do you get up there? I mean, it was built up there.
Yeah.
Or just really messing with people's expectations. There's geosynchronous orbit. It's not moving.
I've lost respect for you. Didn't say
I like the
starship.
space shuttle. The space
That's
shuttle is
fucking amazing, man.
The space shuttle is my favorite real-time. Actually, it's my favorite
Real-time.
spacecraft. Period. It's. I grew up in
Pretty
that era
iconic,
where it was
right?
just the space shuttle was the most magical thing in the whole world.
And this-
Favorite fictional spacecraft.
Oh, I like the Venture Star from Avatar.
Okay.
It gets like a full like 10 seconds of screen time, but
They might just
The Avatar Venture. What did you say? Venture Star? Mine? Okay. I mean, sure. Never slits your boat, I guess.
just there.
That's so sick.
it's pretty cool.
Space Avatar.
It's just a big long tether, and
The one I hate.
yeah, he
Basically
hates
is,
it.
yeah.
He hates it because he has really bad taste in spaceships.
Yes,
So-
Papa, tell me,
what?
no, it's not a geosynchronous. Or I was sitting there just adding more incorrect statements to just really rile the people up, like you,
Got 'em.
Alberto.
I don't know my influences. I guess there is a lot of Japanese stuff.
You have no self-awareness whatsoever.
Like, there's definitely a lot of stuff.
Alberto,
a lot
you're-
of chevrons.
love
I
chevrons?
always,
profile, yeah.
I
His
always get
Instagram
mocked to
profile.
put chevrons everywhere, so there is.
How do you spell chevron?
Shut
Oh,
up.
no.
So
What is a chevron? I know it is a
Stripes.
gas station.
Warning stripes.
big white, red stripes.
Aren't they normally kind of like in a
Yeah.
in a V
The
shape?
chevrons technically
Yeah.
is the one that is directional, but I put them everywhere.
You just like chevrons.
Yeah, I just like chevrons.
So
Akira and chevron.
do you remember the incident in your childhood that brought chevrons to your attention?
I must have seen him in some hospital. I don't know.
But that's some
when you were being-
hospital.
I was in a gas station in Albuquerque. It just
But Alberto, your Instagram profile name is literally Nostromo Industries.
Oh yeah, alien.
so concept artists of all the people I get to talk to on this show. I mean, I'm entering year 11, having doing this now, and concept artists are always unique because they're the only one. Everybody else is working on something that is going to go into production. 99 out of 100 times, any hard surface artist or anybody else is working on something it's been approved, it's been designed, it's going into the game. You guys spend a lot of your time working on stuff that will never be seen. That will just that you spend hours working on a thing, and then they go, no. Like this. How do you deal with that? How do you internalize that? How do you put in many hours, and then like, oh, I'm really excited about this, and you put this forward, and they're just like, no.
I cry a lot.
You cry a lot?
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
It's a
have to
good coping
focus.
mechanism.
Yeah. I'd say you have to focus on the
Like
fact
the-
that you're getting paid for it at least.
Are we?
If you ask, you get, yeah.
Focus on the money.
What?
That was Jay Lee's answer too. So you're in good company. Shout out to Jay Lee.
Shout out to JD.
Jokes apart, I would say is expected.
Yeah.
If all your proposals is stuff you like, you will not be disappointed by any choice.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you
say that.
like if everything you've made is pretty solid, you can be satisfied just in the fact you've made some pretty cool stuff, even if no one really gets to see it. At least you get like personal satisfaction out of it, and maybe they'll be used for
Yeah.
other stuff later down the line, even if they're not used for the original purpose. So you make peace with it, I think.
Yeah. The concept work always starts. We've done a lot of shows on this, but always starts with this people have different names for it. I always called it a contact sheet or a sheet of thumbnails and stuff. It's you start with basic shape language, you know, little sketches. Some people do these things by hand. Some a lot of you work in 3D, 2D, whatnot. You said something. You make sure you always like what you put forward.
It's a strong word.
I mean, there are obviously stuff I like more than others, safer options than others. There is always a wild card. There is always generally the one I like the most, and even the one I like the most about other people's job. Not always get chosen, fine. The work doesn't end there. We go in 2 more passes, one for defining how everything works, and then one for defining the art direction.
So you design several options, 3, 5, 7, 10, whatever, depending on, you know, how inspired you were, whatnot, and then somebody picks one, and then you take that one forward.
Yeah, pretty
usually.
much.
Do you ever include an easy no? Do you ever include like just an absolute piece of trash in there that to make another one look
too big of a
better?
risk.
You can't, because if
Someone might
what if
choose
they
it.
pick it, and then you have to work with that thing for the rest of the process?
You're shooting yourself in
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Also, we don't have a fixed number that is mandatory.
Okay.
So we just
We also never make bad work.
Usually more than one.
You also never make bad work? You're lying again, Leith.
Yes,
he's lying so
I'm
hard.
really good at it.
Okay. So at this point, you know, we've done our thing. We've made, I can't remember what that guy's name was. We've made him sit through a bunch of stuff that he didn't like and whatever. We're going to talk a little bit about what you're actually working on right now. So I'm going to start with you, Alberto, just because you're closest to me here, and we didn't plan this at all.
Okay.
So, what are you working on right now as far as vehicle concepts?
Okay, I'm doing a vertical slice for different areas of the interiors of the Pioneer to understand better how the Pioneer works, what rule it should follow in production, and how to help the production guys towards the final art.
So this is a common misconception I see. When we do a ship concept, not every single area of the interior is fully mapped out, is fully figured out. It's we do enough to get an idea. We get enough to get a concept of it and understand what it is. But after that's done and before it goes into production, you guys have to then go back and revisit and then flesh out all of these major internal areas that are never seen. So that's what you're doing with the
Yes, we do this mostly for all the concepts. We're trying to fix it with the internal team right now. Mm-hmm. Smaller ships, of course, allow us to dedicate some time to fully understand interiors. We did this with the Sulan. But bigger ships need a vertical slice. So we try to pick up the most different between each other's type of rooms and figure out them so that the 3D artists have a solid reference to translate it to the other areas that we don't have the time to work on.
So we actually have some images that we're going to look at. We've staged them on a Miro board here that's not going to spoil anything else. So let's go ahead and throw that on the screen. And I'm in control here, so let me zoom in on this a little bit. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the wrong way.
What?
Do you make that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
So what are we looking at here?
We're looking at the refinery of the
Stage.
Pioneer, and this was one of the room that recently changed a little bit. So the 3D artists wanted, okay,
So we're going to be able
what
to drive
should we do here?
vehicles
What
through it?
color should we use? How should we approach the color palette? How should
This
we
massive?
approach the way the room is built? Ben was focusing a lot on the fact of how a ship this big is built. So there is a hierarchy between the structures that create these rooms. There are secondary beams, secondary bulkheads that are attached to the first ones, and the floor is attached over the structure, so there is space below the floor. How do you approach all this layering? How we compartmentalized with color palette the different functions
There we go.
of this area. For example, we have the crafting stations in yellow, we have the cargo area and the passage in blue, something a little more calm because there is not a lot of movement. And where there is a lot of movement, like the elevator, we use red. So try to be bold and catch attention towards indication and direction. all stuff we're trying to implement in from feedback from the other capital ships we did.
Pioneer progress. Isn't this? Wait a minute. Isn't this a printer for fucking or a compressor for? It looks like a compressor for the salvage like you have in the Vulture. That's what that looks like.
All stuff we're trying to implement in from feedback from the other capital ships we did.
Take something.
What are we looking at here?
We're looking at the bottom floor of the refinery.
Tech something 003.
Yeah,
is-
I just have to give indications. Like there is a lot of there is the name of my dog in the yellow area.
Brad,
There is Brangino somewhere.
Where?
Can we point?
If you
Chevrons
look
everywhere.
at the yellow area, but in the other images.
all yellow, mate.
Back in this one?
No, forward.
Forward?
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
Where is Brangelino?
Yeah, Brangino.
shit.
003.
Hell yeah.
And
Brangino.
indications on the font. I don't know what to write there, but I know that something has to go there.
Did not know what to
Brangin.
write, indeed.
This could be British slang as well, brangin.
I don't know what to write here. but
Brangin.
Make sure it's impact. Is there any significance to the numbers, or is that just random numbers?
No, I just literally smashed my hand on the
I
keyboard.
thought it was your height in millimeters.
Harsh.
My age.
You could put more chevrons there. I
I'm much
think.
older than that.
So what is this room?
This is the crafting stations. All of these are crafting pods.
Craft
I believe you have 4.
Nice.
Yeah, and we try to give every area its own personality and try to be very bold with colors. So this was inspired to
That's a
a
lot of
current
crafting
called
stations.
graphic realism that uses a lot of graphics to point up points of interest, how to attract the attention of the player towards where you can actually interact with, how to not get lost in such a big ship.
Come back to me real quick. This is where I need to remind folks, because I can already see the chat. These are concepts. These are concepts. These are explorations of what the interior will be. What we're going to look at today, none of these are approved. None of these are now, that's absolutely what we're doing, and we're going into production. That's what the concept phase is. So we are literally exploring the same exploration that's going on right now. You took these screenshots literally yesterday.
Yes.
From things. Has CR even seen these yet?
I believe so.
Okay, I hope so. Hi, Chris.
Ben told me he liked it. So.
But yeah, so we can go back. So just don't sit there like, oh, I see people like too much yellow and whatnot. Absolutely welcome to that opinion and whatnot. Just don't shoot any of the messengers or anything. Like I said, it might actually be. It might be more yellow. It's possible. We don't know. This is what concept phase is for, is exploration. Let's go back and see what else we got here.
We're only doing yellow ships going forward, right?
Only doing
yellow.
yellow ships going forward.
The B, the symbol of Manchester, right?
So what are these triangle things here in the?
Now we just have to. So it's not easy to convey. Always so mean, Leith. To convey the art direction for something so new, because we don't have any comparison with other ships. We have one CNOU ship, but is completely different in terms of function and size. So you have to come out with ways to let understand that this is high tech yet industrial. So we don't want to let it look too fancy, but we have to let it look high tech. Doesn't have to be over designed. Doesn't have to be luxury at all. Has to be still a working industry ship made for a B2B type of industry, part of a pipeline. So all these details, even if they don't have particular functions, they help me to convey what kind of details we need to put there, how to distinguish it from Crusader, how to distinguish it from RSI, how to distinguish it from Argo. Is a research just based on finding the personality of CNOU in the industrial part.
I like this floor. I like the little perforations in the floor.
Yeah, all the perforations is meant to show a little bit with the parallax of the maglev cargo plates.
So that
Magnetic levitation.
Oh, okay.
So that we can show with subtle details where the cargo is going to be and where it's not, where you can pass with all the lines and where you can't. Yeah.
Sick.
Basically, what I'm doing right now is trying to find out the rules for the Pioneer.
Blend it with those
And by extension,
Boom.
CNOU,
Exactly.
Consolidated Outlets. Sorry, CNOU is our internal abbreviation. We love acronyms.
Oh yeah.
And game companies in Disneyland love acronyms.
I still don't know what CIG stands for.
Oh, well, if you read Reddit,
Oh,
it's
it's-
CGI.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been here 11 years. Every time I see it, I'm like, CGI needs to do this. I'm like, oh, we're off the hook. Alberto.
Funny.
Okay, so from this point forward, we are going to talk about 3 ships that you are unaware of, and do not, and from this moment prior, do not know are currently in development. 2, we're going to take some look at, and 1
Oh,
we're
they're
not
in
going to look at
development?
right now because you actually already kind of know what it looks like. So I'm going to start with the one that
What?
folks will already
What does
have an
that
idea
mean?
what it looks like. Alberto, you tell me what you're working on right now.
Yeah, tell us, Alberto.
Oh, Samuel. Sorry. I wasn't wearing my glasses. Samuel,
They look so similar.
what are you working on right
I
now?
look similar like Alberto.
No, without my glasses, I can't see crap.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. I'm working on a fighter.
On a fighter,
Yes.
a heavy
And-
strike fighter,
Yes, sir.
heavy strike fighter.
And it's based
I bet it is.
on the Mantis.
Based on the RSI Mantis.
Yes.
So taking
Mantis,
that
okay.
beautiful, gorgeous,
Amazing.
sleek
Yes.
silhouette of the Mantis and giving it a new life.
Give it a new life, a new look. Hopefully better look.
Whoa.
Big
Shots
word.
fired.
Old.
The
Yeah.
original
Interesting.
designer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Shout
Now-
out to
now-
the original designer, we know it.
Yeah. Now that there's a reason we're not using the word variant. It's not a variant in the traditional sense. It's you're going to see it like you could see like you'll see car manufacturers who share a lot of the same
gonna be the
language and
same
stuff. This
shell.
is something like the kind of like the
there's gonna be a lot of
Centurion and
changes.
the Atlas platform, not the Atlas mech.
Yeah.
Whatnot, the Ballista, things that are built on the same platform. This is a new vehicle based on the Mantis platform, so it will share a lot of the same shape, language,
Yeah.
and stuff with the Mantis. You will definitely see it and go, "That's just as cool as the Mantis."
Yes.
But there will be
Hopefully
some-
better.
Even
Hopefully better.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I chose this one because it's way cooler than the Mantis.
Gotcha. And how's that work going?
It's going great. I love it.
Look at what's obviously we're still, like I said, this one's super early days, which is why we don't have anything to show. And besides, y'all know what the Mantis looks like anyway. But this is one of those vehicles that I'm personally most
Just in case you don't, this is an interdiction ship, I'm pretty sure. Star Citizen Atlas. So this is the interdiction ship. I can imagine they're gonna keep a lot of the body the same, but then maybe gonna add like maybe like they could add like a wing that folds in here, you know? So it's kinda wait, hold on. Is there I don't wanna buy it. Where is the picture? There's no pictures, are you kidding me? Okay. Oh this is it. But I can imagine like this is the body frame it's gonna have. But then the wings will fold in here. And then you could when you lift your gear up, the wings fold out. And then you've got some aggressive kind of attack fighter or something. This is just speculation, you know, my own thoughts kind of thing. Yeah, I can imagine it's going to be like completely different, nothing like the Mantis, in the sense of what it has additionally to make it its completely own ship, right?
excited about. I got to shout out Tyler Wicken here. Tyler Wicken and I have both been leading this charge for years.
For the
Well, if I'm allowed to have an opinion, if I'm allowed to take off CIG hat and put on Disco Lando hat, the Mantis is one of the coolest looking ships we've ever made.
I agree.
And I hated the purpose of it. I wanted it. I wanted to do more. Like the Mantis was so cool looking. I would fly it as my daily driver, but I don't enjoy interdiction gameplay or whatever. So it's always it's always bristled at me. So this idea that we get to revisit that platform and revisit that kind of aesthetic and do a new ship that somebody like me would fly every day is really exciting to me.
Yeah.
So that's in development. No timetables or anything right now, but that's something you can look forward to coming on. So that's the only one we don't have visuals on. So sorry. So let's move to Lath.
Hello.
Lath, what are you working on?
I'm making, it's another RSI thing. Get excited, RSI fans. It's a little RSI salvage ship. It's going to be a tiny little dinky
Another
guy.
one?
It's going to be smaller than...
Is that tight, like this?
Can we say how big it is? I mean, they'll know how big it is. Yeah, it's going to be smaller than the Vulture. So it's
Smaller?
just going to be a little... it's going to be a starter ship as well. So it's going to be... Just got the game. Don't want to fight guys because you're a coward or you're lazy, whatever. You can go salvage and you can use this thing for it. And it'll be cool.
So sorry, I
Wow.
lost it on the Miro. I'm finding it right now. Okay, I found it here. So we're going to look at
got it?
three.
What the fuck?
They're
3
a little
designs?
farther along than thumbnail sketches.
Oh,
They're-
shit.
but they're three
Interesting.
different ideations that are being presented. So again, not one of these three have actually been signed off or approved as this is the one we're doing. But we're going to share 3 of the things that Lath is working on related to this brand new RSI starter salvage. So let's take a look. So what are we looking at here?
This was the...
Nice,
I can't
nice.
remember which number design this was,
like
but
this one.
this was meant to be like a... It's similar-ish to the Mantis, actually. So it was like, had some inspiration from that. So it's got on the front, it's got its little grabbies for doing its salvage stuff.
So the salvage arms will come out of these things here in the front?
Yeah, they did like come
much
out, or they'd be
storage?
like,
It's
we're not
gonna have
sure
less
how much
storage,
movement it's
right?
going to have on it yet, so there's still a lot of interpretation there, but it's also got like the little frilly bits on the side, like what the Vulture's got for the fracture field, for the disintegrating stuff. I quite like that one.
I think it's very cool. Chat's taking
It's
to this
nice.
one really well.
Hell yeah.
Looks like a kind of a.
Chat, is it real?
It looks like a cover car, sort of. It's kind of cool.
Do you like that?
And then there's this guy.
This guy, he's
Nice.
a bit more stereotypical RSI, I guess. 'Cause it's like kind of got a Zeusy silhouette. So it's a lot flatter.
This one.
But it's also got its big salvage grabbies on the front.
Who makes the Pice? Oh, I can't remember what manufacturer is the Pice.
Anvil.
Huh?
Anvil?
Nice.
I definitely, I look at this and I see some Pisces influence and everything, but we have this conversation all the time. Car makers ape each other left and right. You know, when Dodge brought that first Challenger back, or was it Charger or the Challenger? I can't remember which one came before. And then suddenly you saw Mustang emulate it. You saw everybody started making all throwbacks and stuff. So I see some Pisces stuff in here, but yeah, there's no mistaking the Zeus influence.
Yeah, it's like
and the
based.
RSI.
This
it
one's
wasn't
okay.
exactly meant to have the same sort of Zeus at first, but then I looked at it, I was like, hang on, looks quite similar. So I'm gonna say it was on purpose, actually. Yeah.
And again, the brief here is a salvage starter. So this is the entry level ship. Like when you
So
say starter,
cool
I mean
having
like
a
you could
small
start your Star
salvage.
Citizen journey with this.
Yeah,
one.
it's pretty like.
And obviously
Yeah,
you
so
would
cool.
upgrade to
Having the
things
option.
like the Fortune or the Mole and stuff later on.
Oh my god.
That's like that. But a place to start with salvage. And then our third and final look. This is bold.
I quite like this one personally. This one was my, I guess, favorite of them, but it's not up to me. I just make the pictures.
Looks nice.
It's a quite sharp, maybe a little too sharp. Some people might say, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty RSI. It would have a. You can't see it from this view, but it would have
I
the
prefer the
cargo.
other two. The
comes
first
out the
one's
back.
definitely the best,
Only
I
holds
think.
a few cargoes. Don't expect to be hauling massive
Personally.
claims in this, but I think he's neat. We'll see how it goes.
There's this idea in the community. We'll zoom out. We'll zoom out.
Yeah,
here.
it's the first one.
Take a look and see if we can get it there. There's this idea in the
Definitely the
community
first one.
that manufacturers are, hey Pete, are static and never evolving. That every single ship from
Yes.
Anvil needs to look like a variation of another one. That every single ship of Aegis, that every single ship of RSI.
This is exactly what he's talking about with like car manufacturers. All the cars look the freaking same.
Again, in a decade of being here, you see this on on Spectrum, you see it on Reddit, you see it on all these, the talk shows and stuff when people are, they're streaming, they're like talking whatever. That doesn't look RSI, or that doesn't look like this, or that doesn't look like this, as if car brands don't change, as if they don't change, as if they don't evolve. Our game has hundreds of years of history, and some of these brands have been around for years, and some of these designs are from many years in the past. A Ford from 2025 doesn't look like a Ford from 2015, doesn't look like a Ford from 2005, 1995, so forth, so forth, so forth. So, but there's this idea that I see discussed all the time. The brands can't change. The brands can't evolve. The brands can't ever try something new in order to attract a new audience to them. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? Because I know not everybody, even at CIG, shares the same opinion.
I think it's like the brands shouldn't stay completely stagnant, because as you say, real world car manufacturers don't stay the same forever. I think they would
Wait, shall we compare, shall we? BMW, was it 320? And then we do, what, 2000? Okay, there you go. Right. See this shape? It's amazing, right? Was the 2010? It's basically the same fucking thing, a bit more rounder. Should we do 2020? Wow, same shit. Bit more rounder. 2025 real now? Well, what the fuck? Same shit, more round. It's the same fucking shit every fucking year for 20 fucking years. Fucking no innovation.
I can see where people
What
come
the
from,
hell?
where stuff doesn't look like a given manufacturer from a set time, but you can think of stuff I don't know, the Constellation, the Aurora, that was designed well over a decade ago. So, naturally the stuff we do now is gonna be different, and we always want to try and improve on the manufactured aesthetics. So,
You make a really good point. Even we've changed.
oh yeah, exactly.
Even our ideas of what these things
change
should be.
during a decade.
Yeah.
Changing fashion, changing cars in real cars.
Yeah.
So it will change even in the video game aesthetic.
Barely.
A
Barely
good-looking
changes
game
in
from
cars.
10 years ago looks different from a good-looking game now, not just because the graphics is better, but because we keep changing the taste. Someone will come and do something completely groundbreaking. Everyone will start copying. It did happen all the time in cars.
Yeah.
Tesla removed the grid on the front, and everyone started removing the grids on the front.
Yeah, it's this interesting thing. I think it doesn't just happen in our community. It happens with all of video games. It happens with all things. There's this idea that companies are these unchanging monoliths. The reality is that the Blizzard that publishes a World of Warcraft expansion today is not the Blizzard that made World of Warcraft in 2004.
Yeah.
I was there. Nobody I worked with is still there today.
Were you born
It's like this. It's
2001?
2004, were you born?
Yes.
yeah. Would you say 2004? Were you born?
Yeah, genuinely,
I'm
it's a
2003.
good question with him.
You were born in 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I was playing World of Warcraft in 2004.
He's younger than our engine.
That hurts.
Why?
That hurts. I've been in the game industry longer than you've been alive.
It's okay, it bounces out.
How many
because
years?
like
How many
60.
years?
No,
How many years?
never. Just gonna take a walk around the spaceship.
He bullies
Talk amongst
me.
yourself. All right,
Do you need water?
Lathe, shut your mouth.
Done.
But this idea that I just read in the news, Acclaim is back, but it's a completely different group of people who have resurrected Acclaim. The idea that these companies never change, that they don't evolve, that is the wrong mentality. But every time it still gets me. Every time I see that doesn't look like Aegis or whatever, I'm like, yeah, it does. It does because we said it does. That's what Aegis looks like right now.
True.
But all right.
Yeah.
Jalopy concept. Now with the way this show's going,
I'll be amazed if we keep our jobs.
I'm just pissing away any chance I got
But
at a
one more
jalopy.
shit to see, right?
Actually, you know what? John Crew has a private YouTube channel where he's been sitting, where he took a junker car and has been fixing it. He's been living the real life jalopy life. And when I'm like, that's all I want in the game, he's like, no, we don't do that. We can't do that. I'm like, you're living it. I think he's just doing it to punish me personally.
Fair enough.
John, if you're doing it to punish me, don't say anything.
Please.
When you ask him.
Oh,
No, I
hey,
learned.
John.
Who can do the best John impression?
All right. So we talked about so work on the Pioneer concept, the interior of the Pioneer. We've revealed that work is underway on a new vehicle built on the Mantis foundation. Where we got a new starter salvage that's underway. Jacob,
Yep.
what are you working on?
I'm working on something that I think and hope some people might be kind of excited about, because the manufacturer only has one ship in the game so far, and it's been a while.
One.
I mean, okay, fair enough. But they look pretty much the same.
Benny?
But it's been a while since those came
Benny?
into existence. And yeah, when I got the brief for that
Benny?
ship, someone outside our team actually told me that I should be pretty excited because it's kind of a big deal. So yeah,
Danny?
it is a Kruger ship, a new Kruger Intergalactic, and it is
Oh,
a
okay.
light fighter.
So working on a brand new Kruger light fighter. Let's take a look at your contact sheet here. So
Okay.
immediately, and you tell me if you tell.
Right. No, it looks like a bike or something, or like there's something attached to the Andromeda. No, it looks like a fucking colorless black. This one's sort of alright. It has a kind of fighter look to it. This one's pretty wild, so yeah, thumbs up to that. This one's pretty cool too. I like this. And this one, I guess. This one kind of looks the same as A, but just with different wings, I guess.
Tell me if I'm wrong in this. I'm seeing some strong like 1950s retro sci-fi vibes here.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the ref that Ben and John picked out was, old cars, like retro cars, 50s, hot rods, World War II planes, especially like Spitfire, P-51 Mustang, Me-262, stuff like that. So yeah, very sleek, very chrome, spiky, rounded forms. Yeah, and that's just the
A little scale comparison
Okay.
here.
I forget how tiny the Merlin is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Tiny Merlin.
So dinky.
Okay.
It needs to
We
be
got some
the same
other
size as
images,
this one.
some other orthos here.
Okay.
Now, besides the retro sci-fi aspect is obvious. I also
Let's
see
look at
Naboo.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. For sure.
This
which is the same
and this.
influence. Everything Naboo was all built from those old 1950s retro sci-fi, kind of shape language and stuff. So it's one of those. It's you find lots of times there's people who are like,
this.
oh, that looks like that ship from that franchise, and it's like, no, we weren't actually looking at that franchise. It's just they were using the same influences we were. So
It shows
some
elements.
interesting posteriors here. What are we looking at? Take us through some of these options. What's this thing in the back supposed to be?
This was just a idea for keeping the circular motif that the Merlin has. It kind of, or the Archimedes as well, has this negative space, this hole in the middle of the fuselage on the wings, which is just a circle. So I was trying to implement that somewhere in the design, rotating it.
I love this guy.
How do
here.
you end?
Yeah, I'm pretty up.
I mean, I love this guy too. I'm sitting here, I'm struggling with picking an early favorite here. Here's some more looks at that.
This one here is definitely a winner for me. I like this one. This is my favorite, I think. Interesting to see how you would get in and out, because it doesn't look like there's any stair access, so you probably have to get in it from.
I'm
other
definitely a
wings, I
fan
guess.
of like the lowered pylon thing.
The big nacelle, yeah.
I'm remembering the fighter from the 1985 Wolfgang Peterson movie Enemy Mine. Right now, Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. It's this one. Let me see if I can find the one that's making me think of that one specifically. This
Yeah,
guy
but-
down here.
He Alright, okay, E is definitely the one, right? Because look, it's the same size as this, right? We need something. It's a light fighter, so is this. We need something B-size, right? Not this tiny.
So it's making me think of that one
Size.
specifically.
Especially
This guy
this.
down
It's
here.
too small.
Let me see if I can
No,
zoom in here.
no.
Nope, wrong button. I keep reversing it.
I thought the big circle was so we could put it on like a keychain.
Lathan, not allowed to talk, remember?
It's small enough.
But yeah, with the little detached pylons, it's also very reminiscent of like the Buck Rogers of fighters and stuff, which is another tremendous thing.
Buck
And I
Rogers?
think this is our last. Did you just say what's Buck Rogers?
Who?
Show us E. It's the best thing here. Oh my.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
Thank God.
Finally.
Buck Rogers.
It's face is gone
2003,
already.
he
Don't
says.
clip that and put it out of context.
I still don't know who's Buck Rogers.
2003, he says. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back to that first image. These are all really cool. One of the things that really stands out to me is how smooth they are. A lot of our ships are great at greebles and panel lines and all those details and stuff. And and that's what's one of the things. It's one of the hallmarks of Star Citizen is that we get to have all of those all of that detail work in our ships. I actually what I find myself, and again, this is just speaking for myself right now. What I find myself responding to is how little detail there is. You have these items that can be machined so precisely that the panels can close and the seams can disappear. Like that's what I'm imagining looking at this. Don't take that to mean anything. That's literally me reacting to the images right now. I'm not speaking from any prior knowledge. These are cool. Do you have a favorite, Jacob?
These are cool. E. Say E.
It was one of the situations that Alberto mentioned earlier where it's kind of ideal because I was happy with any one of these getting picked.
Which one's the bad one?
Yeah, but like, don't be like a parent who lies and say they don't have a favorite kid. Everybody's got a favorite kid.
I was pretty happy with,
E.
yeah, I liked F, just the fact that it has the engine nacelle underneath the cockpit. It has like a bit of a higher stance if you look at it from the side. I liked, yeah, E as well. It's pretty different, but
Yes.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, D was kind of cool. I was pretty happy with B. It is a bit of a more generic silhouette, I would say. But I think it works, and yeah, A is cool as well.
B reminds me of
Just
General
reminds me of a
Grievous's
fucking-
fighter, like also
Yeah,
the
yeah, for
prequels,
sure.
which again, same influence. You're looking at a guy who grew up
It's like
on
colors,
50
just
sci-fi
smaller.
stuff. And
Who's
George
General
Lucas.
Grievous? I'm joking.
You.
No, you need to choke him.
It's
Let's go ahead.
fragile.
Let's go ahead and have our little review. So Sam and Lath and Alberto, you're in the review right now. If you were going to pick one,
Okay.
what would you put forward?
D.
A and
Say
G for me.
You would pick G.
A and G.
Oh, A and G.
G.
A.
So,
like G.
so there's
G's big.
there's G. You
No.
see some clear links to the Merlin and
I'll
Archimedes
pick
there.
D.
Then A. Oh,
No.
the more I look at A, the more I just like it.
Yeah.
No.
I like the top silhouette.
Don't
I'll
do
pick
it.
A and D.
You pick A and D.
A and D.
Okay. How about you, Lath?
It's a
And the A.
fucking
You talk
light
now.
fighter, not a P-shirt, man.
I think you
No.
should start again, personally. I like G. I like G a lot.
You like-
I really
you
like,
like
its,
G?
its thinner silhouette.
Chat has been voting. Chat has been voting since we started this here, and lots of opinions as there usually are. But if I had to pick some unscientific, anecdotal tabulation here, I think A is sort of taken away. Let me find a really good
That one's just
We
a
don't
plate
need
shot.
another
shot of A.
fucking
So that's A
Archimedes,
from behind.
man.
Let me see if I can find another better ortho of A here. Oof. Let me zoom out.
Yeah, it looks amazing. You did
I
that.
mean,
Well, I also-
okay, hold on. This part here looks nice, right? But I just don't like the size of it, and I just don't like the size. It's just bad. We need a light fighter, not another fucking pea shooter. Like the Archimedes.
I paid someone on Fiverr, and then I pretended like
I'm
I
not
did
saying
it.
the Archimedes is shit. He's like, he's pretty fast, agile, and all that shit.
You're doing a
Can
lot of
cause
butt first stuff
problems.
here. Where's the?
But we want a
I'm trying to
light
get the
fighter,
shot in the front.
right?
Here we go.
We want a fighter.
Let's see if we can zoom in on that.
I think if you go to the next one, it's like a
Oh, the next one?
bigger view, yeah.
It's more like a person fighter, right? Not
I'm
a
having
light
trouble
fighter.
with my controls. Here we are. We'll zoom in on that. Nope.
Zoom in. Yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
better,
I
but
just-
I mean,
Wowzers.
still,
Like,
it's a personal fighter, not a light
it's so
fighter.
different than everything else that we have right now. That's what personally excites me about it. It doesn't look like anything else that we're flying. None of these do. None of these do.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real honest. Any one of these
Eh,
would kill. Any one of these would have its fandom. Any one of these would have its supporters.
Go on to E,
And
man.
I'm really excited about this.
I just say I'm really grateful,
God.
since this is my first full ship that I'm doing from the ground up. I'm really grateful that, well, Ben and John have been so kind as to really let me push and explore stuff that's like a bit more crazy, a bit different from what we've done before, from the Merlin as well. And yeah, it's been very, very fun so far. So,
ew.
Well, gentlemen, that's it. You did the full hour.
That's it.
Full hour.
So yeah, congratulations. You've done SCLs before. This is your first SCL.
Okay.
Yeah.
When are we coming
hopefully
back?
not the last.
Sure, yeah.
No, if you keep bringing me new ships like this to show, we'll have your back.
There you go.
I didn't think we were going to be able to make it into the office tomorrow, to be honest.
Honestly, I had a letter of resignation ready.
Well,
Albert was actually worried.
I was actually worried.
I will admit, as you were wrapping up your last kind of thing, I did bring up Teams just to check to see if I was being yelled at. No.
Are we?
No. I won't make the joke I always make. I get crap for making you're watching the last broadcast of Jared Huckabee joke. I won't make that joke because you guys, obviously I have habits after 10 years. But I do sincerely check every once in a while. They're like, yeah.
It will be Alberto's last, though.
But they watch it on the big screen. So it's like
On the 9th?
Usually, oh yeah, usually I'll get messy. I'll get messy.
So if I run right now to the 9th, I can see myself? No.
You have to run very fast.
Yes. How much delay?
Yes. You run right now.
Yes.
We'll just stay here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Hang out so
funny.
you can go see yourself. But you have to beat the Twitch
And
delay.
one of the cameras follow him.
You have to beat the Twitch delay. There's like a 55-second delay.
Can we leave him mic'd up so we can hear in case
Yeah. Go ahead. Start running, Sam.
I need to warm up first.
Can we get a skateboard?
No, I didn't bring it today.
This guy sucks.
That's like a waste.
Sorry.
Right.
How many seconds did I
Here
just
you
get?
So that's it for Star Citizen Live, the vehicle concept team. Hope you enjoyed watching,
What was that?
especially that one person that we made wait 30 minutes through all the personal stuff that I find interesting just to get to the good stuff.
This
you know?
stream was for him in particular.
So the stream was for you, person that I made sit through 30 minutes before we got to the good stuff.
Shout out to him.
Obviously, 4.1 just went to Eva Cotti last night. So
When you
I just realized that a whole bunch of them can't play Eva Cotti. So no, I'm not announcing anything to you guys. There's nothing for you guys to do except watch Reddit for leaks and stuff.
What leaks?
Water.
Nothing ever leaks.
Be sure you stay tuned to news. We have a Stella Fortuna. That's what I was trying to get to. That's what I was trying to get at. Next week, I think our yearly Stella Fortuna promotion begins. There's a bunch of cool new stuff. Usually every year there's just a bunch of green stuff, and the green stuff is cool, like this. But we actually have some new and exciting stuff that is a little bit different this year. So stay on the lookout for that for next
We'll
week's
see.
Stella Fortuna, and then we'll be back next week. With a special episode of ISC
Oh, yeah.
that will explain why I was clean shaven for the first couple weeks of this year.
Yeah, you're in Scorpion 42, right?
Yes.
Most of you
I
won't
think you
care.
said this already.
When you find it, you're like, oh, I don't care. Tell us new stuff about this or whatever. But you know what? I like it.
Okay.
So, Alberto, Laith, Sam, Jacob, thank you. So
Right, they're all signing off. Right, so, yeah. Let's have a look So this is the base construction ship, which it looks super massive. There's like so much space inside. Look at the size of this guy. It's got so much freedom in here, and this is just like one little compartment. You got the cargo lift area. This is definitely relating to be an absolutely massive ship. And just imagine if you wanted to do cargo runs. I know you're not gonna, but you could do cargo runs, and just imagine how much cargo this is gonna be able to haul. Holy shit! I mean, you don't even need to use a cargo bridge, right? You can fill up every bit. Other concepts we had the salvage river, is it? Yeah, this is my
I
favorite
like that one.
looking salvage. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. I think this is a winner. That I'm interested to know how much SCU this has as starter. Maybe it's gonna have like 4 SCU storage inside, and then maybe like 12 or something, or maybe 10 internal storage. Just like the Vulture has 14, but it has a way bigger grid, right? You want the starter ship to be usable, profitable, but not as big as a Vulture, obviously. Because then that would defeat the purpose of having this as a starter. It would be an alternative then. This is my favorite design for that. The second one does look doable, but I think the first one's better. And the third one, just no. Fat no. Fat no for me. Not my kind of thing. And let's get, well, I've already ran over. He's a winner for me. I don't want another one of these. Please don't give us another one of these. This is wild. Has a lot of different, I don't know if these are going to be bespoke guns or if the guns are built into the frame of the ship or something like that. But this is my favorite. We need another light fighter. Look, it's identical. It's practically identical in size. Right? We don't need more small, tiny ships like this. This is a personal fighter. This is a light fighter. Right? I think we also class this as a light fighter, but this is more personal. This is like if you're watching Star Wars and then the bad guy has his own little personal ship to get out. That's what it is, right? So are these, A and G. Exactly the same. G is a bit bigger, but A is a lot smaller. The E is my favorite here. I mean, it's nice to see the design and thought process and all that kind of shit. So yeah, it's interesting. Okay, well, let me know. What were your favorites for the salvaging ship and the where is it? The light fighter. What's your personal favorites? And yeah, are you excited for the Outlander, the base builder thing? Have you bought one? I haven't got one. I won't be able to buy one now. So yeah, it's interesting. Interesting to see. Okay, I'm gonna head off now. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, share it with Discord or whatever. Share it with everyone. Your mom, my mom, everybody's mom. And hit that subscribe button so you can see more in future. I'm gonna head off. Hope you have a good day. And ciao for now. Meow meow. Bye bye.